Good evening, everyone. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science. This evening, we're going to be doing our self-healing class on the title of Embracing Self-Love. Tonight, I want to start with a little poem before I welcome you again, because some of you are still signing in. To begin our time together, I'd like to share a poem that I think encapsulates the essence of our gathering. Out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in the grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. That's by Rumi. As we come together in this gathering this evening, this sacred space, let's meet in the field that's beyond judgment, beyond blame, where the soul can rest and where healing can truly begin. So once again, welcome everyone. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science here in New York City, broadcasting all over the country and all over the world. It's amazing to see so many of you people with us, lighting up the board. I'm delighted that so many are joining us now for our self-healing class, which is based upon the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louise. Whether you're here with us on Zoom or you're watching later today on Facebook, YouTube, Insta, or X, we want to extend the same warm welcome to everybody. Many of you are religious participants. By that I mean you're actively engaged on the other platforms, and we're getting all of your messages. Thank you. We appreciate all the kind words, messages, encouragements, and support. So as we gather together today, I want to express again my deep appreciation for all the love that everyone offers us. We also meet here Wednesday for our creative living class, facilitated by James here. So again, your presence is the main thing, and your contributions allow us to share this life-changing work. For those of you who might feel called to support our work further, you'll note in our chat rooms there's options. So please know whatever anyone does is appreciated. All of our classes and gatherings are offered at no charge. So voluntary donations, love offerings are appreciated. This class this evening is part of a tradition now that's been going on with me for over 30 years, our weekly self-healing class, rooted in the timeless wisdom of Louise, based upon the book You Can Heal Your Life, a book that's been translated into 28 languages and sold over 65 million copies worldwide. This is a book that's impacted so many millions of people no one really knows. It's a testament to the profound influence that Louise Hay had on the entire New Thought movement. Louise began her journey here with us in New York City at First Church, and she was working closely with Raymond Charles Barker and Dr. Grayson, I've been told. When I read or listen to any Louise Hay material, I'm always reminded that she's translating the science of mind textbook and other metaphysical teachings into language that is accessible to everyone. For those of us who have been dedicated students of religious science, who've delved into these deep teachings, often through rigorous study, we owe a great deal to Louise Hay for making this wisdom available to the masses, helping countless millions of people find healing and transformation. So let's take a moment this evening to center ourselves with a brief meditation. A meditation that many of you are very fond of already. So as we come to listen, allow these words, these are Louise's words this evening, to resonate deeply within you. So she started out, and we begin. Let's take a breath or two to relax ourselves. Deep at the center of my being, there is an infinite well of love. I now center myself and allow this love to flow to the surface, filling my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being. I let this love radiate out from me in all directions, knowing that it returns to me multiplied. The more love I give, the more I realize I have to give. The supply is endless. The use of this energy, this love, makes me feel good. As I use it, I know it's an expression of my inner joy. I love myself, therefore I'm learning to take better care of myself. I lovingly nurture my body with better foods, more nourishing foods. I take greater care of my body, noticing and drinking more water, more nutritious foods. As I lovingly nourish my body, it lovingly responds to me with health and vibrant energy. I love myself, therefore I provide for myself a comfortable home, a place where it's a pleasure for me to live and be. I fill my space with the vibration of love so that anyone who enters, myself included, feels nurtured by this love. I love myself, therefore I work at my job, my hobbies, or my activities doing something that I truly enjoy. I use my creative talents and abilities in ways that serve and bring joy to myself and others. I am abundantly supplied and supported. Yes, I'm abundantly supplied and supported. I love myself, therefore I behave and think in a loving way toward all people, knowing that whatever I give out comes back to me multiplied. I only attract loving people into my world, for they are a mirror of who I am. I love myself, therefore I forgive myself, and I forgive others. I release the past. I let go of grievances and judgments so I can be free. I am free. I commit to living my life in the now, releasing the past. I experience each moment as good, knowing that my future is bright, joyous, and secure because I am living in the now. I am one with the one. Yes, I am one with this one energy. I am a beloved child of the universe, and the universe lovingly takes care of me now and always. And so it is. This meditation is found in the book, You Can Heal Your Life. It's powerful because it aligns us with the core teachings of self-love and self-acceptance. I've used versions of this for many, many years, bringing this message into spiritual organizations I've led, support groups I've facilitated, and even within hospitals and treatment centers. Louise Hay's material has touched the lives of so many people, from mothers and children and individuals living with AIDS to those dealing with many life-challenging illnesses, things that were once considered terminal. The power of this work, grounded in the science of mind, cannot be overstated. One story I have that stands out to me tonight was a woman who was battling severe illness. She was feeling hopeless and overwhelmed, believing that her condition was irreversible. However, through practicing her affirmations, practicing doing her daily work, working on herself, this inner work, she found that her daily affirmations of self-love and healing, as a result, she experienced transformation. She moved from a place of despair to one of empowerment, realizing that her thoughts and beliefs held the key to her healing. Over time, her condition improved significantly, and she attributed this healing, this change, to the shift in her consciousness brought about, again, by practicing doing her affirmative prayers and affirmations. Here's the thing. Our lives are filled with challenges. Every one of us have daily challenges and challenges throughout our week. And on some level, we create them. Now, the idea is not about blame. Rather, it's about understanding our role in the creative process of life. Louise Hay made a statement that I didn't like too much when I first heard it, where she said, we're each 100% responsible for what happens to us. And it's often misinterpreted, but let's be clear, there is no blame in the statement. Louise was introducing us to the foundational principle from the science of mind that we live in a responsive universe. The universe mirrors back to us what we think. It mirrors back to us also what we feel and what we believe. This idea was made popular in 2006 with the movie The Secret. If any of you saw it, it depicted the universe as a genie that responds to our wishes. The genie had one big line in the whole movie, which was, "Your wish is my command," suggesting that the universe is always responding to you as you believe. Louise Hay knew this truth long before it became mainstream. She knew it a generation before. She knew it as a practitioner of this great teaching. Louise understood Ernest Holmes and what he taught. Ernest taught that there is power available to us, each one of us, and we can learn how to use it. She introduced generations to the idea that we are not stuck, that no matter how difficult our circumstances may seem, we have the power to change them. Louise often said, the point of power is always here. It's in the present moment. So if you could be still and know that you are one with this one, you can realize that there is this something within you that's responding to you. Again, the point of power is always in the present moment. This statement reminds us that no matter what has happened in the past, our ability to create change lies in the choices we're making right now, this instant. And it's about taking responsibility for our thoughts and actions in the present, knowing that whenever we do this, they are shaping our future. So it's very important to recognize that healing and transformation begin with us. It always begins with us. It's important to recognize that this healing and transformation begin with our consciousness, okay? The conditions in our life, no matter how they look, no matter how overwhelming, no matter how good, how bad, have no consciousness in and of themselves, of their own. We, however, are conscious beings, and our lives are a reflection of our inner state. You've likely heard me say many times before, as within, so without. So whatever is living inside of me is, we have lots of expressions for this, is playing outside of me. Your life is a reflection of the totality of your consciousness, of your knowing. The sum total of everything you think and feel, both consciously and unconsciously, is reflected in our external experiences. Most people are quick to judge what they see day by day, judge and quick to blame. But in this teaching, we pull all that back because we understand that our consciousness is neither good nor bad. It simply is. So it is the law of life at work. The law of attraction, the law of mind, the law of correspondence, all point to the same truth, that our inner world creates our outer reality. The thoughts you obsess over, the emotions you dwell upon, all of it manifests in our day-to-day lives. Louise Hay shared in one of her workshops, every thought you think, or tonight, every thought we think is creating our future. This simple but profound statement encourages us to become much more mindful of the thoughts we're thinking. Every Thursday, I ask, what has it been like being you? Because the thoughts you're thinking. What has it been like being you this week? Because the thoughts you're thinking are creating your todays and tomorrows. If we want to change our lives, we must first change our thinking. The work of transformation always begins within. As an example of this principle in action, I have another story. It can be seen in the story of a man who was struggling with all kinds of financial problems. This particular man had a deeply ingrained belief that money was hard to come by. Something that you might have heard when you're younger. It doesn't grow on trees and things like that. But this gentleman had a deeply ingrained belief that money was hard to come by. And worse for him, he thought that he would always struggle financially. So he began working with affirmations from our teaching, from Louise Hay's teaching, such as, I am open and receptive to the new avenues of income. I'm a money magnet. I deserve to live in prosperity. And gradually, as he was doing this day after day and surrounding himself with people that reflected the idea that he had the power to change this, he gradually began to expand his consciousness. And over time, he noticed new opportunities did in fact start to show up. And little streams of income became larger ones because, as what the mind can conceive and believe it will achieve. Louise would ask you, what are you approaching the ocean of life with? What's your container like? If your consciousness is one of plenty and positive expectancy, then you're going to begin to see new opportunities for yourself. So in this gentleman's case, he started to have openings in mind and consciousness. His change didn't happen overnight, but it was the result of consistent, focused effort to change this most important internal dialogue. Again, the conversation he's having with the most important person in the world. So there was a shift in perspective. As we engage with this teaching, you'll come to see that most of the world, not everybody, but most of the world is focused on everything that's going on outside, what people are doing, what people are saying, what's on TV, what's going on in the economy, and what's going on with the politics. They're always, this is most people, not you, are focused on all the external stuff. But this, from a spiritual standpoint, is living life backwards. The real journey is an internal one, a journey without a distance. It begins with me. It always begins with ourselves. Instead of pointing fingers outward, blaming others, blaming ourselves, blaming circumstances, this teaching is very, very clear in that it invites us to turn inward, to understand that there is a power and a presence within you. So turn within and begin to find that, listen for that voice within. It's surely there, I promise you. If you want to change your life, if you want to heal, we must first recognize that this process is an internal one. So it's about being still, sitting, be still. There's an expression, be still and know that I am divine, I'm one with the one. Get to a place where you can realize that you're a part of this one energy, that it's in you, it's operating through you, as you. So, and then once we understand that we're part of it, we're individualizations of it, we want to connect with it and then begin our messaging and have our messages to ourselves be kinder and more self-loving. Every Thursday I ask the question, as you know, for those of you who are new, or regulars rather, I ask the question, what has it been like being you this week? And this is a question for reflection, not for public discussion so much. It's just for you to observe. Have you been lighter? Have you been encouraging to yourself? It's an invitation every week to consider your inner dialogue, whether it's uplifting, whether it's life affirming, or do you notice yourself being filled with criticism or perhaps too much negativity? When we are determined to shift our perspective, when we go inward, we take ownership of our experiences. We're not talking about people, like what they've done or done to us, nor are we blaming ourselves, but rather as we go and we take a look, it is an empowering process. It allows us to create change. As Louise Hay often said or emphasized, I'm willing to release the need to be unworthy. I'm willing to release the need to be unworthy. I love myself the way I am. She'd say, I am worthy of the very best in life. and now I lovingly allow myself to accept it. So maybe that rings true for us tonight. Saying I'm willing to release the need to be unworthy, exclaiming to yourself, I'm worthy of the best in life, and I now lovingly allow myself to accept it. These affirmations, or this greater affirmation of releasing the need to be unworthy, it encourages us to let go of old patterns of self-criticism and to embrace our inherent worthiness. One of the great truths we teach here at the center is that we are not victims in any true way. We are victorious when we take responsibility for our lives. There's a line I like from the Course in Miracles, which is this: I am not a victim of the world I see. And our teaching encourages us to step up and step out of the idea that we're victims of the world. Ernest Holmes would suggest again, we have tremendous power available to us, and we can use it. So Ernest Holmes wrote The Science of Mind. He, of course, had a huge influence on Louise Hay. He would say there's infinite power available to us, and again, we can use it. But often, many of us get sidetracked by our conditioning, by the accumulated beliefs and the agreements that we've made throughout our life. And all this stuff, gets in the way of us expressing ourselves truly. We stop thinking our own thoughts after a while. We live in our old patterns. The challenge with this teaching right now, and this week, in this beautiful class, is to learn to live in the now. Tell yourself, I'm sick of the old stuff, and I'm challenging myself to untie myself. I release the need to be in the past. I have the willingness to let it all go. So we want to challenge ourselves to live in the now, to drop any resentments, any judgment, and to greet each day with positive expectancy. Louise advised, I forgive myself and I set myself free. Again, I forgive myself and I set myself free. This powerful affirmation is a reminder that forgiveness is not just about releasing others, but also about releasing ourselves from the chains of past mistakes and regrets. Forgiveness is a key step in taking responsibility for our lives because it allows us to move forward unencumbered by the weight of the past. A word about living in the now. To live in the now means to let go of the baggage we carry, the ancient corpses of resentment and regret. Just let it all go. It means being fully present and aware of the perfection in each moment. I often talk about this in terms of practicing the presence. As often as I can, I used to do this many years ago. I would say, this is God in my life. Whatever I was doing to become more present, I would say to myself, this is God in my life. This is this spiritual activity. Some of you have a challenge with the word God, so you can say to me, this is spirit. It's never an absence. It's always a presence. Louise Hay begins her book with the points of her philosophy, which are also the core teachings of the Science of Mind that we teach here at First Center. One of these points is that every thought we think is creating our future. If you're practicing this teaching, then you're lifting yourselves out of reactive thinking and you're choosing your thoughts consciously. We're moving beyond what we call mass thinking, the type of thinking that dominates the world, into becoming our own creative thinkers. I quote Emerson often because he'll say, God help us when a thinker is let loose upon the countryside. Nothing is safe. So we encourage you to wake up and to realize that you have a connection to this eternal source that's in you, operating through you. So in this teaching, we're always encouraging you to think for yourself and to inquire within, because you have authority within you that will never fail you. Again, living in the now and having the courage to go there means being willing to change. With new information, we keep working on ourselves. We never stop. Louise Hay said, "I'm willing to change. I'm willing to release anything that is in the way, any old or negative beliefs. They're only thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. They're thoughts that stand in my way. My new thoughts are positive and fulfilling." This willingness to change is important for personal growth and expansion, for healing. We can consider an example from Louise Hay's teaching. There's a woman who was struggling with a difficult relationship, and she found herself stuck in a cycle where there's a lot of resentment and blame and hurt. By embracing being in the present moment, the idea of I am here now, and using affirmations like I release the past with ease and trust the process of life, she was able to shift her perspective. This shift didn't immediately change her external circumstances, but it changed how she felt internally. Over time, her relationship improved as she became more centered and as she became more peaceful. No matter what's happened in the past, it's never too late to turn things around. Never, never, never. You can make a new beginning today if you really want to, even if you've been miserable all day long or all week. You can choose to be different. As Ram Dass advised us in 1971 with his book by the same name, be here now. Challenge yourself to be present right now, to be here now. Let's let go of the complaints, the stories of who did what to whom, and be here now, where we are free to create a new reality. Speak to yourself with love. Treat yourself as someone who matters, and develop an inner conversation that's beautiful and life-affirming. There's nobody nicer to be nicer to than you being nice to you. So this brings us to another affirmation from Louise Hay, where she said, I am in the process of positive change. I am unfolding in fulfilling ways, or only good can come to me. I now express health, happiness, prosperity, and peace of mind. These are beautiful words, and they can be very true for you. I am in the process of positive change. I'm unfolding in fulfilling ways. Only good can come to me. And again, I now express health, happiness, prosperity, and peace of mind. Notice the emphasis on our phrase, I am in the process of change. It reminds us that transformation is a journey, and each step we make is meaningful. The next affirmation, I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. Repeat this affirmation often, especially when looking in a mirror. Let that sink in. I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. This is the journey to become more mindful of the thoughts that loop around inside of us, because we have a lot of thoughts that are not too wonderful. And if you find yourself doing the stinking thinking, the negative thinking, correct it. As soon as you see yourself doing it, find a way to stop it. Tell yourself, no, I release this, and deal with it. Tell yourself the truth about yourself. Because the truth about yourself is going to be something along the lines of, I am whole, I'm complete, I'm loving, I'm lovable. And neutralize the negatives wherever you find them. We want to choose thoughts that uplift and empower. As we begin to wrap up this section, as we come together in our class, we remind ourselves of the truth of who we are. We reconnect with the source of our being, and we level up in consciousness. We remember first and foremost that we are spiritual beings. We say namaste, the divinity in me is acknowledging and seeing that in you. We're all one with the one power, the one energy. And we know that there's a divine intelligence that's within us, guiding us, wooing us. There's an internal guidance system. Louise's work continues to inspire people all over the world, uplifting millions of people. Her teachings remind us that we are powerful creators of our own lives, and that by changing our thoughts, paying attention to our thoughts and changing our thoughts, we change our reality. And she so beautifully put it this way: the past is over and done. It has no power over me. As we know this, I can begin to be free in this moment. Today's thoughts create my future. I'm in charge. I now take my power back. I am safe and I am free. My suggestion is stay connected to this beautiful teaching, to this community, which exists always to remind you of who you are, what you are, and remind you that you have the power. Remind you that you are one with this one creative source. Tune in as regularly as you can, whether through our classes or maybe the rebroadcast. Listen to our meditations, our affirmative prayers online. The more you stay connected with yourself, the more you take a pause or two throughout your day, the more you get connected, you will see how your life begins to transform. I have an affirmative prayer for you for this evening before we connect with the larger group, where we like to welcome newcomers and let you give you time to share your thoughts, and newcomers and people who attend regularly. But let's close with a powerful affirmative prayer spoken in the first person. I recognize and I know that there's one infinite power and presence in the universe, and that power is love. It is the creative intelligence that flows through all life, including my own. I'm one with this power. It flows through me as me. I am a divine expression of this infinite presence, connected to all that is. I know that as I align my thoughts, my feelings, and my beliefs, my life transforms. I now choose to release all negativity and fear, all doubt. I embrace the truth of who I am. I know I am worthy, whole, and complete. I give thanks for the power within me, for the love that surrounds me, and for the abundance that flows into my life. I'm grateful for the opportunity to live this truth and to embody this love and to share it with the world. I release this affirmative prayer into the law, knowing that it's already done. I let go and allow the universe to work through me, bringing forth the highest and the best in all things. And so it is. So now we're going to turn the cameras over to you. And always on Thursday, I ask, what has it been like being you? What's the conversations been like? Has it been life-giving, or have things come up for you that you're aware of that you need to work on? Whatever it is, please take the time at least to say hello. And if you're new, a special welcome. No one has to share, but we love hearing from everyone who can. So thank you. We'll see you the other side of the break.